All right, everybody, what's going on? Talking Elimination Chamber 2015, the review show, because copyrights and stuff. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need it. Um, if Justin was here, he'd be playing music and getting us thrown out. So we don't need that. We just need the review. We're gonna talk about it. So we got Elimination Chamber 2015. Only 2 weeks from Payback, which feel like it just happened. So I think a lot of people are considering this as kind of a throwaway pay-per-view a little bit. But we got Elimination Chambers, all the chambers and the steel and the pods and stuff. So, that was very interesting. But we started out on the pre-show. We had Zack Ryder versus Stardust, or the Dust of Stars, as I like to call him from now on. Probably not just tonight. This match basically ended with Zack Ryder losing to Stardust. And I was like, what? Because I thought Zack Ryder may win because he's kind of on the rise here a little bit, getting some pay-per-view time. But Stardust hits the Queen's Crossbow, formerly known as the Crossroads. So that's funny, like, because JBL was talking about how he was going to unveil a new move tonight, and it just happened to be the Queen's Crossbow or the Crossroads. So that was interesting. I'm not sure I'm going to transition him back to Cody Rhodes because it's kind of one of those things where he can only go to, like, I feel like it was kind of either something of Goldust or a thing to get him back to Cody Rhodes. I didn't really feel like this was one of those things that they could keep going for the long term. I know you didn't get a chance to watch this match or too much of it. Any thoughts on Stardust or Zack Ryder? Anything?
No, it was just cool to see Zack Ryder again because we hadn't seen him for the longest time before he was on Raw again this past week. So, I mean, hopefully we'll see him more because I do like him in the ring. It's just his character. I feel like it's hard for them to figure out what to really do with him on a consistent basis. So, from what I saw, this was a pretty good match. I don't know what they're going to do with Stardust because I agree that, the Stardust thing was kind of a gimmicky thing specifically for Goldust, and without Goldust there, it doesn't work. There's no one for him to really have a storyline with it. So unless they transition him back to Cody Rhodes, and I don't know how they would do that, I just don't know what they're going to do with him unless they just keep him on pre-shows and, don't really do anything with him. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, so next we had on the pre-show, we had Miz TV. And this was with Daniel Bryan, so I think I came into this expecting maybe to get some news. But I didn't really, when I was taking notes for this, I didn't really want to take a lot of notes on this in particular just because I was like, nothing really going to happen, I think the main thing I took from this was that Daniel Bryan is coming back. That was the main thing. We did get a Macho Mandow, Axelmania sighting at the end of this, so pretty interesting. Any thoughts on this here? Your Miz TV, if you watch, I'm not sure if you caught that or not.
I caught a little bit of it. It was cool to have Daniel Bryan on the show, at least in that capacity. He was also there for the Intercontinental Chamber match later on tonight. But I just felt like they do a lot of these things on the pre-show because, it's geared more towards the kids because a lot of, younger kids can't stay up so late. So, they try to put, the colorful characters, like, Sandow and Axelmania. I can't call him Macho Mandow. It's just weird. I'm sorry. I was so happy when he went back to Sandow, and then they did no. But no, it's. I mean, so I understand the pre-show stuff. It's for the kids. Get them to see some cool stuff that they're gonna like. Colorful. Crazy characters, and then later on we get the more serious matches, like the World Heavyweight Championship match that we had. But it was pretty cool to, at least get a little bit, not really much of an update, but, Daniel said he is going to be back. But, I know you said earlier you're worried, and I'm also worried about it because, we don't want him to come back and hurt himself more and, not be able to, compete again or, God forbid, do permanent damage to where he can't, live the life that he wants to live. Because we've seen many, many, many former WWE superstars, wrestlers that, have done that to their bodies, and now, they can't walk right, they're in wheelchairs and stuff like that. So I just don't want to see him hurt himself permanently. Hopefully he does heal up and his neck or whatever is still giving him issues does heal, because everyone loves Daniel Bryan and he is one of the best talents that WWE has, at least on the main roster right now. So hopefully he'll be back. Did you freeze again?
Oh. Huh?
I thought you froze again. I didn't see you move.
Sorry, this on the actual card. That's what I was really excited for, just because it was like a first time thing. I'm gonna give Casey this one because he seemed to be excited for it. So
yeah, so we got the first ever Tag Team Championship Elimination Chamber match. So we had the Primetime Players, Los Matadores, Kid and Cesaro, the New Day, the Ascension, and the Lucha Dragons. And normally when you think of WWE, you don't think of that many, tag teams because they don't do that many tag team matches. So it was kind of cool to see all these tag teams in one match. It shows that they do have a tag team division. They just don't use it. And I loved how El Torito got on top of the pod, right in the beginning of the match, so you knew he was going to do something. That was cool. What I want to know is, why have we never had a tag team elimination chamber match? I mean, it's such an awesome idea. I can't believe, they haven't done this before. And this was an awesome match. The only thing I would have changed about it is I would have made it more of an elimination match, to where if one person in your tag team is eliminated, the other can stay in and still fight for the team, because that would make a cool dynamic. It could turn into like a handicap match. You can get so many different things out of that. I didn't like that if one person gets pinned or submits, but the whole team is out. I just felt like that took away from it. But we did get a beautiful Hurricane Rana off the top of the pod by El Torito. We also got the surprise. I was surprised that the Primetime Players eliminated the Ascension. I felt like they would make it at least to, the second to last, because it felt like they were building them up for a while. They had that, kind of forgetting the past tag team, we're the here now, whatever. We had a crazy fall from the top of the chamber by Kalisto. He climbed to the very top of the chamber, and it almost looked like he was stuck for a minute. I was like, are they going to have to get a ladder and get him down from there? Like, what are you going to do? And, he just kind of swings and falls on everybody. I was like, that was dangerous. Don't do that. But like I said, I thought I figured out, I thought I knew who was going to win when the Primetime Players eliminated the Ascension. I was like, okay, the Primetime Players are probably going to win, because it felt like they were, building them up again after they reformed. But I was wrong. We got sort of a typical bullshit WWE finish where all three members of the New Day got the pin, which I just thought that was stupid. You could have had them retain, but you didn't have to do a kind of a really what I felt was a dumb finish like that. You know, but altogether, I actually thought this was a pretty good match. I hope they do another Elimination Chamber tag team match again because it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy this match, especially being the first one. You never really know what to expect, especially with that many people in one match at the same time. Um, I think this match had, its fair share of crazy things. Kalisto just did not care ever. He did his best Jeff Hardy impression from the top of that of the chamber there with that swinging back and forth, the little pendulum, just pendulum fall thing that he did. It wasn't like even a splash. He just fell. He just didn't even care. It was funny because Cesaro was just looking up like, "Are you gonna fall like at any point today?" Because it kind of took him a while. I think he may have been a little scared up there because it looked like it like took him a while a little bit. At times, you could see the New Day kind of grab his leg when he got on top of the pod. There was a lot of jumping from the pod type of stuff in this match, which I liked. With El Torito, Kalisto, Sin Cara. I think this showed off the tag team division very well. Personally, I felt that way. I was glad the New Day retained. More and more, the more I see them, I feel like the New Day, as heels, continue to grow, which I love. I like the New Day as heels. I think good. It was a good audible by, I don't know if it was creative or McMahon or Triple H, whoever. A good audible for them to go with heel New Day, especially when the positive, not necessarily the positivity thing, but more so the face version of the New Day wasn't working too well with the fans. I think, sometimes you got to do that. You got to make an audible to make it work. And I think it did. It's done pretty well. I felt like in this match of the Ascension, they really looked dominant in this match. They looked really good to me personally. I felt like this is probably one of the best matches I've seen from them. Their tag team work was solid, and they were in the match for a while. They let them kind of be themselves a little bit. I like that. I like that they kind of let them show off what they could do as a tag team, and I feel like we haven't really seen that from the Ascension. It's kind of been, we've seen that big power game from the Ascension, but we haven't seen it be as effective as it probably maybe should have been. I was surprised that the Primetime Players eliminated the Ascension, though, just because I was like, the Primetime Players just really got back together. They haven't really had any matches. And the Ascension were kind of, I was a little surprised that they were dominant, too, just because they haven't been pushed in any way or form anyway. But I think all the teams in this match looked really good. I think anytime you see this many teams in one match, it's going to be some interesting things going down. So I definitely liked it. And like Casey said, I hope they do more with this in the future. So next, I'm pretty sure we had the Divas title match, right?
Yep.
Triple threat. So we had Naomi versus Nikki Bella versus Paige. This was a match I was a little bit excited for, just because I wanted to see, how Paige was going to do. How Naomi was going to do, how this three-way dynamic was going to work. Because there hasn't been a lot of Nikki Bella matches with more than one person, except for like tag team matches. So like title defenses, and I was genuinely excited for this match going into it because it was a title defense, and I'm like, Divas title was on the line. I'm excited. I was genuinely excited. I thought this match really showed me that the Divas division has potential. Especially when Naomi and Paige were in there were still some things that could have been fixed. There was still some work done. There was still some things that, I had issues with. But I feel like it did show that, especially with Naomi and Paige, that there were really some potential there. And I think Nikki Bella at times can be better than she's given credit for. Maybe not all the time. She's probably not the best. But, I think there are some times when she can look pretty good. Casey's disagreeing with me. But I don't know. I do want to see. I was surprised that Nikki retained though. And when she did, and Brie Bella came down running to the ring, I was like, the turn is coming, baby. Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella. Let's go. Let's go. No, I was like, what? I was so upset because I was like, it's happening. Like the way they did it just made it feel like it was happening. She just kind of stood there awkwardly behind her for a couple of seconds. I was like, she's gonna pop that forearm. I can see it. I can see it. No, didn't happen. But I guess with Daniel Bryan being there, they can't like turn her heel, I guess. But I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with the Divas division. There's definitely potential. I see it. I can see it. With some of these other girls, and I'm looking for Naomi to get the title at some point. She kind of deserves it. She's been working for it, working towards it for a while. So, any thoughts on the Divas title match?
I had a couple issues with it. First of all, Nikki came out first. I thought the champion was supposed to not come out first. WWE,
I did not notice that.
Again?
That's like a pet peeve of mine.
Damn it. Yeah, she came out first. And I was like, what? Why? Also, why wasn't this match in the chamber? You don't even have to use the pods. But I felt like first of all, I always think in Elimination Chamber pay-per-views, all the matches should be in the chamber because that's the name of the show. If it's Survivor Series and you have an Elimination Chamber match, that's okay. But this was a freaking, I don't know. But, I mean, it would have made it even better match. It would show that the women can do anything the guys can do, which is what other companies have been doing for years now. I feel like that it shows that WWE's women's division is still kind of, in a way, stuck in the Stone Age because it's still, they're still porcelain dolls, they're still Barbies, I think the closest thing we've had is I think we had a ladder match. Didn't we have like a Divas ladder match? No, that was TNA. That was TNA. But yeah, it's
was
like
that a dollhouse reference there?
What?
Was that a dollhouse reference just now?
Yeah, it was. No, but I felt like this should have been in the chamber. It would have been cool, It would have been innovative. But it was an okay match. But I felt like, the definite highlights in this match were Naomi and Paige. We got Naomi with a crazy reverse sunset flip thing on Paige. I didn't even know what that was, but I thought Paige died. So I was a little bit sad. I was like, no, not my girl. Not my girl. But anyway. I felt like the finish wasn't believable at all, though. Like, it didn't feel like Nikki did enough. It was just like the rack attack and then the pin. It didn't feel like that was enough to really put Naomi away. I don't know. That was just me. Still waiting for the Brie, turn. And I think they could have turned her tonight. I mean, they turned Nikki heel, and her boyfriend is freaking John Cena, Captain Face. Like, so if they can do that, why can't they do it? Come on.
Captain Face.
Captain Face. No, but I feel like they could do it. They're just not, and it's annoying. But because I feel like there's not really much, they're not really doing anything else with Brie, so it's like, come on, do something with her. But yeah, it was a pretty good match. Like I said, I just thought it should have been in the chamber. Impress us a little bit more with the Divas division.
All right. I know at some portion of the show, we had the backstage thing with Triple H, Roman Reigns, and Dean, which basically was telling Roman he couldn't, be at ringside just because, that would cost Dean the match, and the authority rules all, blah 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 blah. Any thoughts on that at all?
No, I felt like it was a useless backstage segment because this isn't Raw. This is a pay-per-view. This isn't Raw. But yeah, it brought, it added a little bit to the match, knowing that we already knew that the Authority was going to kind of try and screw Ambrose over somehow. They just had to tell us how. Yeah.
All right, so next we got another match. I'm gonna let John Cena take. Oh man, Casey's gonna be mad at me. The rest of the match. Another match I'm gonna let Casey take.
I'm not John Cena.
Kevin Owens versus John Cena. I'm gonna let you take it before I even say anything further.
All right, so we got the champion versus champion match. Kevin Owens versus John Cena. First of all, this is just my opinion. A champion versus champion match is a match where both titles are on the line. Neither of these titles were on the line, so why are you calling it a champion versus champion match? No. That just bothered me. I was like, you're not even having one of the titles on. Why do we care? But anyway. Also, the way they advertised this match kind of made it seem like it was going to be a chamber match, at least to me. I thought this was going to be in the chamber, which upset me again. I was like, why? But anyway, let's get into the match. First off, John Cena is so stiff. It looked like Owens was wrestling a statue. It was horrible. Also, he doesn't know how to sell. I'm just gonna throw that out there. After 10 plus years, he sells a headlock like it's the most painful thing in the world, and then something like a power bomb, he sells like nothing. And I'm like, no, but why? And he did that a couple times in this match. He had Owens had him in a headlock, and it looked like the most painful thing in the world. And then the couple power bombs that he did, it was like nothing. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. But as a Cena hater, I did think it was awesome to see Owens kind of destroying Cena. But it wasn't convincing because I knew Cena always comes back no matter what. So I was like, he's gonna come back. He's gonna somehow. I've noticed the past couple of matches, or this is the first official match, but the past couple times, Owens has done the pop-up powerbomb on John Cena. John doesn't put his arms out, for the fall. He kind of puts them back. And I'm like, one of these times he's going to break his arm because he doesn't, you're supposed to be as flat as you can. And he, puts his arms back. And I'm like, we're going to see him break his arm. But anyway, yeah, we did get an awesome moonsault by Owens where he kind of was on the second rope, jumped to the top rope, turned in midair, and then did the moonsault, which was awesome. Especially for a big guy like that, to see him do a moonsault. Anytime big guys do that, it's awesome. Owens taunted the five knuckle shuffle, but I thought it was really predictable with the reversal because he stopped there and gave Cena enough time to do the reversal, and I was like, no. It just kind of ruined that spot for me. I thought that was going to be a really cool spot. But just the way he sold it too much. But anyway, I feel like also Cena is the only person that the announcers will talk up a tornado DDT. They're like, look at that move by John Cena. And I'm like, it's just a tornado DDT. Everyone does it. It's not. Then, but I just this was an okay match. I thought for Owens' first match, first pay-per-view match, it was a really good match. And he did pretty much dominate John Cena almost more than we've normally seen. John Cena be dominated, especially by a younger talent. He does. I still can't believe it, but Kevin Owens did win the match. He broke through the John Cena glass ceiling. He broke through it. But I just thought this was a really good match. We are apparently going to be getting the rematch at the next pay-per-view, which I'm hoping is going to be as good as this match. I'm not going to hold my breath because a lot of times rematches aren't nearly as good as the original match. But with Kevin Owens, I feel like it could be as good. Hopefully he wins again, and they keep him rolling, because apparently he is on the official main roster now, which I don't know how that works because he's the NXT champion. So how does that work? Is he going to lose the title? What's going on? But yeah, I really like this match.
From what I heard, what they're gonna do with him is they're gonna he's gonna be on the main roster, but he's also gonna be on NXT. So he's gonna be going to both brands. From what I've been hearing about that, so that's pretty interesting. Man, I really loved this. I thought it was really good. I really did. There were, that moonsault, ridiculous. Not only for a bit to do a moonsault, but to jump like that, like springboard off of the ropes like that, bruh. I mean, Kevin Owens, man, he's already proven, and even his promo at the end after the match was, kind of telling a little bit. But I definitely like this match. I think it showed good portions from both Cena and Owens. This is the first time, and I don't know if I listened enough. I don't think during a match to hear Cena call the match throughout the match. But very loud talking, just like at the very, very beginning, and then after that, I didn't hear much anymore. I just kind of happened to hear that this time, and I was kind of surprised at myself for even hearing it. But this match, I really think was maybe even match of the night. It did a good job. I think I was surprised Kevin Owens won, just because you're used to seeing Cena overcome the odds, somehow pull out the victory or something like that. I think it's just good that Kevin Owens won. I think it's just good for Kevin Owens. And what does it really hurt Cena? It's a little bit different when Rusev, we don't know, as much as I love Rusev, we don't know his background. But Kevin Owens has come through and he's known. We know his background, in said in WWE what his background is and his, how much experience he's had. He said it himself, at all to lose this match. So I'm glad. I think he looked good in this match. Then the powerbomb stuff, I agree. I've seen it the 3 times I've seen him hit the powerbomb on him. Cena's gonna get hurt if he keeps, butterflying his arms like that. I love the package power driver tease they did in this match. I know there were some people that were like, is he really going to package power driver? I was like, I looked at it, I was like, but then I was like, he's not going to hit it. I'm not even going to get my hopes up. I know he's not going to hit it there. As much as Triple H loved him, I don't, with Vince still calling the shots, I don't see him hitting that right now. Maybe later, maybe. You can tell Triple H really likes this guy. For him to beat Cena in his debut pay-per-view match, There's got to be sides in the back, right? Um, I definitely I want to see this rematch. I want Kevin Owens to win again. They're kind of curious to see if they're going to put the title on the line during the rematch. Because if you think about it, Kevin Owens did have the open challenge. Open challenge option. He didn't take it. And he beat Cena clean. Beat him, he beat him clean. So that kind of warrants him for a title. I'm not. If put the title on the line, that makes it less likely that he's gonna win. But logically, it makes sense. This match was awesome. There were some times when I thought Cena was gonna win. And I think you need some matches like this where you always does it, and he does it. I think he thinks that. And I think this match really did a good job of. It's a lot of kind of long 2 counts, stuff like that. Definitely, I like this match. I was. All right. So next we got Bo Dallas versus Adrian Neville, a match I was excited for going into it because even when I saw it, during, I don't know if I saw it in the video package. I think I ended up seeing it on the pre-show. They were showing the feud or whatever. I was excited going into it because Bo is my boy, and Neville is also my boy, so it's who do I cheer for here? This match disappointed me, unfortunately. From what I'm hearing, though, before I even get to the match, I'm hearing that Bo Dallas is not going to be re-signed, which is unfortunate, especially considering how good Bray is doing. And I heard through another review as I was watching the review before we came on. And I think they've been looking it up and everything, so that's interesting and not, I'm not happy about it. But we got Bo Dallas and Neville. This is a match that we saw in NXT. We saw them do some good things in NXT. I didn't. I wasn't there at that time, but I'm not sure if Casey, you saw the NXT matches.
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Were they better than this one? I don't even know, man. I was excited going in, and I think even Neville didn't even look as good in this match. I don't know why. I feel like they're not letting these two guys kind of let loose against each other. I feel like they haven't let Bo let loose at all. Just because I feel like there's so much more he could do, but they just won't let him. They have it they hold his hand the entire time, and I'm like, I feel like he's got so much more in the tank that he could, kind of let out, but they won't really let him. Like I said, I was disappointed by this match. Neville does win by the red arrow though, so Neville gets the win. Not really surprising. I was kind of hoping if they were going to continue this feud and make this feud kind of something and kind of unpredictable, that Bo would win the first match, even if it was by a dirty tactic, just to give him something and kind of let Neville be kind of disappointed, but not necessarily like he just got beat clean. Any thoughts on Bo Dallas versus Neville?
First of all, I thought this feud was really weird and rushed. First off, it was weird because they're showing video or clips from a match that they had over a year ago. How do you? It was just weird that they're randomly bringing up this feud again, and it's like this happened over a year ago. How can you start this feud? I don't understand. This night did get a lot better just a couple minutes ago. I believe that NXT and WWE will be better if Bo doesn't resign. But anyway, no, I could see him, being signed by maybe Ring of Honor or one of the indie companies. Possibly TNA might take him. I don't know, but there was a point in this match where Neville goes to the top rope and Bo slides out to the outside, and all I could think was Bo, You're facing the man that gravity forgot. Do you really think rolling outside is gonna help you? Um, but anyway, also when Bo got thrown into the second turnbuckle and rolled outside, the ref counted really fast. I don't know if anyone else caught that, but that ref was counting pretty fast. He was like 1, 2, 3. I was like, dude, calm down. Give him a chance. I mean, I want him to lose, but give him a chance. Jeez. But yeah, Neville wins, and I feel like they are kind of holding them back, which I don't know why they do this on the main roster. And that's why I hate when guys go up to the main roster, because, I want them to succeed, and obviously that's their main goal, is to get to the main roster, but they water them down so much, and they give them such a basic move set all the time, and it's like these guys can do so much more. I don't know why they limit them so much. I'm pretty sure it's more of a Vince thing, because I feel like Triple H would let them kind of do more of what they want to do, or what they can do. Just being that the fact that he was, an in-ring competitor, an official in-ring competitor, so he knows, what these guys are, wanting to do, in the ring. So. But hopefully, it'll change and these guys will get more freedom in the ring and be able to do more. But it was a pretty good match. Just like I said, the storyline is kind of weird that they're bringing it out of nowhere after, more than a year of nothing. It's just weird.
All right. So next we got the Intercontinental Championship Elimination Chamber. I think it was Rusev was injured. If you guys don't know, Rusev had got injured on SmackDown, so he wasn't in the chamber. So just add to my sorrows during this pay-per-view. Just continue to add to it, please. Rusev, was not in the chamber, so I was upset. But we did have a Mark Henry signing, which Katie was obviously delighted about. The mystery man was Mark Henry. So we have, I think it was Mark Henry, Sheamus. I remember all these because I don't have it wrote down. Ziggler. You got the other three? I don't know why I can't remember them.
Let's see. We had Mark Henry,
Barrett,
Sheamus, R-Truth, Ryback, Barrett, and Dolph Ziggler.
There we go. So this match, I thought. I think it was as good as the tag team chamber match, but I did think it was okay as far as the chamber is concerned. But I do think it was a different type of a chamber match. It was not like as high flying because you had the bigger guys in there. You're not gonna see Mark Henry doing what Kalisto did because the entire arena would have probably just shut down after that. But I kind of liked this match. I thought it was pretty good. I want to more so talk about the ending than I want to, inside of the match. Ryback ends up beating Sheamus, which was surprising. As soon as I saw Sheamus and Ryback against each other, I was like, Sheamus is gonna win because Sheamus is being pushed as this, new Celtic Warrior guy. He hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship ever. And I'm like, they're pushing him. They really are pushing him, even though he did lose to Ziggler at Payback. But, they're doing a good job of making sure that we know, Sheamus is this new guy. But Ryback ends up hitting the shell shock. The ending was really good. I don't have it wrote down, but the ending was really good, though. I really liked it. He ends up hitting the shell shock for the win on Sheamus. And I was really surprised by this, but I was really happy after I thought about it for a little bit because I was going to be excited for either one who won it. I felt like Sheamus maybe could have brought some prestige, maybe could have brought that kind of his new attitude to that title, whereas, and it would have been ironic for Daniel Bryan to have to give Sheamus the title after Sheamus is kind of taking credit for putting him out. But also we had Ryback who hadn't had a singles title before and kind of, this point, has earned it. The man has went through Ryback and went through his first Feed Me More thing, and then got that thrown away to go to Ryback and then back to Feed Me More. So I kind of feel like Ryback kind of deserved it too. So Ryback does win, and I was definitely happy. And I hope LB Clash of Kings is watching this, because I read a tweet from him about the Ryback. Let me see if I can. He says, "WTF? Why Ryback? Ew. Somebody else deserved the title over him. I want my youth back 30 minutes after watching him win the IC title." The only reason I'm pointing that out because LB obviously watches us all the time, so hopefully he's watching and can give me some reasoning why he doesn't like the Ryback. But I'm glad he won, because it's his first big singles title. I think he kind of should have won the WWE title a while back, some years ago. So took him a while to get back into this title picture. So at least the Intercontinental title picture. So I think he can do some good things with it. I'm excited. It was also cool to see. I'm gonna call him Skip Sheffield for a second here. Skip Sheffield and Daniel Bryan from that first season of NXT together. I thought that was kind of cool again, but definitely a cool moment for me personally. Any thoughts on this Elimination Chamber match?
Well, first of all, my apologies to any of the Rusev fans. He did hurt himself. He got injured on SmackDown, which was in my hometown that night. So I apologize.
Conspiracy.
That was my bad. It wasn't my bad. He's the one who fell out the wrong way. It was little
Jimmy.
What?
It was little Jimmy. Man.
It was little Jimmy.
Our true soul.
He hangs out up here all the time and he does stuff like that. I apologize though. I'm sorry. But the only thing I really didn't like about this match is I didn't really want any of these guys to win the title, because either because they've already had it multiple times, or I felt like if they got it, their title reign wouldn't be entertaining to me. There wasn't really any guys in this match that I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want him to win. But one thing that WWE usually does right is having Ziggler start out matches like this, whether it be Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble, etc. Just kind of getting that excitement into the match, which Ziggler always knows how to do. Barrett went. There was a point where Barrett went right after R-Truth as soon as his pod opened. He didn't even let Truth out, which I thought was a good, strategy. I actually thought R-Truth looked pretty impressive in this match. I don't usually think he looks impressive at all, because he's kind of really gimmicky. But I really thought he looked really good in this match. We had an awesome spot when Barrett broke Mark Henry's pod, letting Henry out unintentionally. That was kind of cool. Best part of the match was Sheamus' pod door gets stuck. So he's really upset, yelling at the refs to open it. Somehow he finally got out. I forgot how he got out. But Ziggler, reverses the meat hook into a super kick, which was awesome. I love that. All in all, I thought these guys actually put on an excellent match. I really did. I was really happy that Ryback did win the title, because out of all of these guys, I feel like he deserves a title shot or a title run the most, and I feel like his character's developing a little bit more now. That it could be cool to see him with a title. So I'm excited to see what happens, how long he keeps it, but yeah.
All right. So next we have the main event. and I don't want to do injustice to this match, so I'm gonna give Casey this one as well. Since my computer hates me, so I'm gonna give Casey this match too.
Okay. I'll try to give it some justice. No. So yeah, we have the World Heavyweight Championship match, which ruined my life. But we'll get to that. Yeah, Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. These two put on awesome matches. So I knew this was going to be a great match anyway. Their styles contrast and kind of work together at the same time so well. And they still always seem to give that a little bit of an indie feel to their matches still, you know. But I actually felt like J&J security getting involved when they did kind of hurt the match to a bit. Because I felt like these guys could have gone out and had a match just themselves, and Seth Rollins still could have done heel stuff, but I didn't think the Authority had to be out there, but although I think I thought this match was a little bit slow in the beginning, especially just after the great matches that we had in the show before. It was just a little bit slow, but bullshit call at the end. Ambrose still, Ambrose won the match, but via disqualification because Rollins pushed a ref in the way off of a dive, so he wouldn't get hit, so the ref got hit. But that just upset me that they did that. I wanted them to just give him the title clean. But he still does have the title. He stole it because it's his. He won it, so it's really not stealing. He took what's his. So it's his now. So, but one thing that bothered me a little bit is that, and I'll have to go watch this match again because I don't remember if it was disqualification or stoppage officially, but there was a similar match where Kevin Owens won the NXT title, which I thought was via disqualification, but then Ambrose wins a match via disqualification but doesn't get the title. That just doesn't make sense to me. But it could have been stoppage. I don't remember. I'll have to go watch the match again. But I still feel like, I don't know. I feel like Ambrose deserves the title clean. I feel like they do this screwing the good guy over too much to the point where it's not entertaining anymore. It's not giving us a good show. But I guess we'll see what happens on Raw. I think it would be cool if he does do kind of that, hijacking the title storyline. We haven't really seen that in a while, which would be cool. But we'll see what happens on Raw tomorrow. But what do you think of this lovely, horrible outcome of a match?
Yeah, I thought this match was really good, and I would like to see. I just want to see a Seth Rollins match without all the interference because I know Seth Rollins put on a good match, and I know that Dean put on a good match, and like you said, they do a good job of putting on a good match together. The ending got me just because I was like he hit Dirty Deeds and he pinned him with, and I was expecting Seth Rollins to kick out because the ref took so long to come out. And then when he won, we had like the official announcement. We had the graphic on the screen. My mouth was like this for like the next 3 minutes. Like seriously, I was so surprised. And it wasn't like I was surprised because he doesn't like deserve it. I was just surprised that I was like at that point thinking that he won, surprised that he got it, kind of feeling like it was a little bit early. Just because he didn't even win the Intercontinental Championship a while back or a couple of weeks back or whatever. So I was like, I mean, I wasn't mad. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't mad at all. I was just surprised, and I was like, I expected Rollins to win, especially having the Authority out there and not having Reigns out there. I was like, Rollins obviously gonna win, and I was like, for like the next little bit, and then when they reversed it, I was like, I wasn't happy either. I was like, how? You had the graphic, you made it official, but I did think it was cool that he took the title. And that Reigns came out there kind of to save the day a little bit, kind of helping him get his face reaction up a little bit more. Hitting Superman punches and spears. I love how Reigns' Superman punch went through Mercury to Noble, like just went straight through him and knocked them both off the apron. I thought that was pretty cool. But I love how Dean was like, the champ is buying the beer tonight, and takes it with him. Talks about how the numbers game wasn't on his side and stuff like that. Wasn't on Rollins' side anymore. J&J Security is like on their butt, like trying to gather themselves and such. I definitely like this match. I want to see just a clean match between these two. I want to see. I don't know. I want to see the Authority can't get involved, because I feel like it puts a damper on Rollins' run a little bit. Every time I think of the Authority, kind of who's in charge, getting involved in world title matches, it brings me back to Magnus, and it's like, ugh, please, not again. But I just want to see these guys just get a chance to just go one-on-one without the Authority out there. I actually thought that was going to be something where Dean wins the title officially and actually wins it and whatnot, and then Rollins kind of gets mad at the Authority and just said, screw it. We didn't even have Reigns out there, and y'all still couldn't get the job done. I thought maybe that's where they were going with it, and then Rollins maybe wins it back after that, or maybe we at least get that one-on-one match we've been looking for. But I definitely thought it was a good match. I thought this show was pretty good. I definitely loved Kevin Owens versus John Cena. I think they kind of stole the show a little bit, especially with a match not being in the chamber. I think it was really good. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do to Kevin Owens' angle, especially considering they're using him both on the main roster and on NXT. We know he obviously has a feud coming up, so that's gonna be cool. He also has the John Cena feud as well on the main roster, so I want to see how this is gonna play out. Any last thoughts?
No, I'm just, excited to see what they do with these different storylines and stuff and title runs, but yeah.
All right, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and button for me, because that's what we need. We need some followers to be like, hey, I didn't like this match because, yeah. Shout out to Justin on that one. I need some people to tell us your thoughts. So do it and subscribe so we can keep up to date. We got some things coming. The Stone Cold podcast is coming soon, so I guess we'll be talking about that soon as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the near future. Bye.